Hello everyone, and welcome or welcome back to Gander Gardening with Dawn. Today's video is going to be how we can make very quickly and easily a dried flower Victorian Christmas tree. Isn't this pretty? And this one is actually, I think, at least 4 or 5 years old, but it's time for me to update it and to make a little bit of a newer and brighter one because the colors have somewhat faded in this one. So if you're interested in learning how easy it is to make one of these, please stick around. So some of the things that you will need, first of all, you'll need a small artificial tree. This is just a very inexpensive one I picked up at a dollar store. And if you have a decorative container, you can use that, or you don't have to. It depends on what kind of style you're looking for. This burlap around the bottom would be a very rustic style. And here are some of the flowers that I saved from my own garden. There are some shrub roses here, some peonies that I dried from my own garden, some hydrangeas that I dried from my garden, and I also have some things that I've gathered over the past couple of years, and you can see the strings on these because I simply hang these up to dry. I have some carnations, some roses. Some of these are the grocery store roses that you can buy, and a few of these are from an arrangement that I was given. I have a whole lot of straw flowers that I saved from my garden. I have some statice that was in the arrangement that I got, and some eucalyptus that I saved from the arrangement that I was given. I probably won't use all of these things. I can see two color themes here. One would be sort of a yellowy color theme, which would be quite pretty, and the other one would be a more pinky color theme, which is quite honestly the way I trend, so that's probably what I'm going to use. You won't need nearly as much as this. This is everything that I have to choose from, and I just wanted to show all of it to you. So let's go. Another thing you'll need are a pair of snips or some strong scissors to cut the stems of some of the flowers. So I have this glass container that I received an arrangement in some time ago, and the first thing I'm going to do is put my tree into this container and hide the burlap because I want it to look a little more shiny. But again, if you're going for a rustic version, you won't need to do that. It doesn't look much yet, does it? And then I'm just going to fluff out the branches a little bit. And so now I have fluffed it up. The first thing that I'm going to add are some of these hydrangeas. And this is a messy project, but a very easy to clean up project. You're going to be shedding petals and bits of flowers and stems all over the place. That is absolutely for certain. However, really easy to brush it off your table and sweep it up. So it is messy, but very, very easy to clean up. So I'm just going to use my snips, and I'm going to cut the hydrangea into smaller pieces. Now, if you don't have hydrangea, you could use baby's breath. You could use anything that is fluffy and a light color to add some volume to it. Or you could use eucalyptus leaves if you wanted everything to be green. You could also use pine cones and or spruce buds. And you can see when you just put one piece in how much fluffier that makes it. So I'm just going to randomly put some of the hydrangea all the way around. Not too much because I want to leave space to put the really big flowers in next. Now that I have the hydrangea in, and by the way, this is just one of those pieces of hydrangea. This is just one flower head, and in fact, I didn't use it all, which will just go to show you how little you need to save from your garden to have some to work with. And I think the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these really large flowers. And these would be the peonies. They are quite large. And I am putting flowers in all the way around because I think I may put this in the center of my dining room table when I'm done. And so I want it to look good from all sides. So the stems that will work best are probably about 3 inches long for the bottom and a little bit shorter as you get towards the top. And we're just going to tuck that in, and don't be afraid. Some of the hydrangeas will break off as you are tucking in flowers. That's perfectly fine. That's exactly what you expect to happen. Okay, and I'm going to continue to add some of the larger flowers all around. And the next layer I'm going to add, as you can see, I have very loosely put in the peonies all the way around. I didn't use some of the very largest ones because I thought they were a little bit too big. The next thing I'm going to add are these eucalyptus pieces, and I cut off some of the smaller pieces, and I'm going to use the largest of those on the bottom and the smallest as I go to the top. And when these dried, they developed a real pinkish tinge, which is going to work in this sort of antique rose looking arrangement. And again, I'm just going to tuck those in, and again, you'll break off leaves. Don't worry about it. That's the way it's going to work. And I'll come back and show you once these are in. Now I'm going to add some of these darker roses. And these all have a little hint of a rosy color on them. And again, I'm just going to tuck those in. This stem might be a little bit long for the top, so I'm going to start with a shorter stemmed one. And you just simply push them in, trying to keep a balance. It will be a fairly fat, rounded tree, and sometimes you can hold the very top to keep it steady as you are inserting flowers. My goodness, isn't that one lovely? And I'm going to put the roses in all the way around. Next up are these little tiny shrub roses. These are the ones that grow on trees in my own garden, and they can tuck in so easily. And just look at this one. I think this is the prettiest of all my dried roses. And I think I have to put that somewhere where it will be front and center. But of course, every side is a front. How about right here? I'm going to tuck it in right here. Oh yeah. Okay, and I'll be back. So the last thing I'm going to add to this one is a little bit of this delicate status that I have. It's sort of a lavender color that I think will work really well and just add a little bit of delicacy to it. And also at this point, if you need any more hydrangea, if you think, or baby's breath, if that's what you're using, or eucalyptus leaves, or whatever you think, just tuck in things until you're happy with it. And the beauty of this is it doesn't have to be the type of flowers that I am using. Whatever you have, if you have access to some dried flowers, you can pick them up. Or if you have some that you have dried from your own garden, you can use those. It's very simple. And when you're done, it completely hides the tree. You see very little of the tree. That actually just acts as a support, something to put the flowers into. When you're happy with it, spray it with hairspray. That'll help keep the colors bright and keep the dust off just a little bit. And I'm going to tidy up this mess that I've made, and I will show you a picture of how it looked when it's all done. And here it is, all ready for the center of my dining room table. I hope that you try one of your own. Thanks for watching.